Hello friends, welcome back. It's really a welcome back to me, but because I am back, hopefully you are back to doing them in current time, we'll call it. We are in a new space. We have just moved into fellowship halls, so that's why you're seeing new things behind me. I think this is where I'll film. I don't know. That might change, but change is good for the brain. So I hope you had a great week off, and this one is a little bit for me, but also since you possibly didn't do yoga while I was gone, we're going to start by just going into the hips and the low back, a little bit of upper back. That's the general areas that when we don't do yoga or when we're traveling a lot, those kinds of things often get tight on many of us. So join me, won't ya? We're going to start on our backs. Have a block, one block, and have a strap where you're going to be able to grab them. And you know, I say these things, you might already have this figured out, but when I come down onto my back, because I may do twists or other things, I often put them kind of up, off a little bit. That way I still have clearance of range of my arm for the most part. I can move into twists, etc. So generally a good place to have them. So start in constructed rest pose. That's the one where we have our feet on the ground, they're wide, our knees lean in, and our arms are in our Shavasana position. Close your eyes, and let's just take just a couple of minutes and drop into this beautiful body of ours. Right? So bring your awareness into the muscles of the face, the neck, the shoulders. Check into the arms, hands, and fingers. And start high in the chest, right? And then scan down through that whole torso towards the hips and the low back. Check into the inner bowl of the pelvis, and then let that come on out to the hip joints themselves. And then all of those beautiful, beautiful muscles around our hips. Legs, feet, and toes. Let's just take about 3 to 5 smooth breaths. So just work on gently smoothing that breath out. And let's begin from here. Bring your arms in by your side. You can leave your legs exactly as they are. Inhale, reach that right arm up. Fingers go towards the ceiling, but then they go all the way overhead as far as comfortable in your shoulder girdle. Exhale, bringing that arm back down by the side. Inhale, alternating. Left arm is going to reach up and over, NEM out. And exhale, bring that arm down, separating shoulder and neck. As the right arm reaches up and over, turn, gently rock, I'll say, your head to the left. Remember, we're not picking up the weight of the head. Come back through center. Sometimes we do, but not for this particular exercise. As the left arm moves up and over, the head's going to rock over to the right. Bring that back down. Now, the next time you reach the right arm over and the head rocks to the left, if that's available in your neck, pause. And then keep the muscles at the shoulder joint gently hugging the shoulder into the joint, but reach more through your right fingertips and see if you can't lengthen out of your right side waist. Bring the arm back down and the head back to center. We'll repeat that on the other side. Left arm's going to reach up and over, rock your head to the right. And again, before you do this action, gently hug the muscles of the left shoulder, right? The rotator cuff protects the shoulder. Now reach, slide the left fingertips further back, and now hopefully instead of pulling the shoulder out of the joint, we lengthen the left side waist. Come back to neutral, to center, left arm down, head to center. Now go ahead and keep your arms in Shavasana style. So for me, I need to move them out a little bit, palms up, and kind of resituate. And then I'm going to walk my feet into hip distance without using my arms, right? My hands and arms stay where they are. I'm going to lift my right knee in towards my chest and let my low back round a little bit.
And exhale, slowly bring that right foot back down. So starting to warm up the core lightly as well. Bring that left leg in and hug that in. And exhale, bring that leg down. Bring that right leg in just as you just did. Nothing's changing yet. And bring that back down. And bring that left leg in. Pardon me. And bring that back down. It's basically winter again in Walla Walla, so bring that right leg back in. And this time go ahead and grab that strap, so you can move your hand to grab the strap. And go ahead and undo it, right? Get it ready. But I just want you to notice, before you strap the foot, if your shoulders are already jacked way up off the floor, and if you've already got a ton of tension to try to get that foot, try to keep the shoulders and the upper body soft, the upper back. You might need to move the right knee out to the right to get the strap around the right foot. That's fine, but the shoulders don't have to get so excited about it, right? And then push that right heel up to the sky. I give as much slack as I need to straighten my leg to whatever degree works for my body. But I keep my shoulders down on the mat. I keep my arms pretty straight. And if you ever wonder why I give that cue, if you slide your hands way down and bend your elbows, just notice how much more work goes into the upper body, and particularly the pectoralis minor, that inner armpit line, right? So if we straighten and lengthen the arms, we can make this much more subtle in the upper body, right? Not as much has to work. As that heel pushes up, notice what's happening in the right hamstrings. Pull the toes gently down, but also push up through the ball onto the big toe. These are all of the usuals. I'm not adding anything new. But I don't know about you, but I need the reminder pretty much every time. Both straps into the right hand. Now, actually, before you put them both in the left hand, sorry, this is where the block comes into hand. So I want you to put that block directly on the outside of your right hip. Yeah, suck it in till it actually makes contact and hits. Put both straps into your right hand. You can tee your left arm out and then let your right leg move over to the right and actually get supported by the block. Now, if you need a higher position on the block, or you need to hold the block till the leg gets it, right? That's okay. Make those adjustments in your body, right? Find out what that is, but I actually want the block to prevent the leg, to catch it, right? To prevent the leg from going down, I should say. And then do all the actions we just did. Push through the heel, push the palm onto the big toe of the strap, but the strap's gonna pull back into the toes. My arm is pretty straight, but my right shoulder is gently softening down to the ground. My left knee countered to the left, and I'm taking a breath here. So this way I don't have to bear the full weight, and I can really concentrate on opening that right thigh. Often the nervous system will release a little more when it feels the support of the block in this particular position, this in bound angle, Baddha Konasana. Bring the legs back up. And go ahead and remove the strap just to add a light core in. Arms down by the side. You can move the block if it's in your way, or just have it be to the outside of it. Point your toes and flex your foot. Point your toes. This is on your right foot. And then go ahead and, as we often do, keep your pelvis stable, keep your low back stable. Don't let your belly distend, and slowly lower that right leg all the way down to the ground. Once it gets there, go ahead and put both feet on the ground with the knees bent, and for just a moment, notice your body. Again, if we split it down the midline into a right side and a left side, is there any difference between the two sides right now? Are there similarities? And then I'm going to switch my body so that you'll have the left side closer to you. But again, start by leaving your arms in that Shavasana style position, right? And then I want you to go ahead and I want you to bring the left knee into the body. Now, keeping the upper body as footloose and fancy-free, as few muscles engaged as possible. Grab your strap. Again, to assist, some of us it's easier to bring the left knee out to the left to have access, so we don't have to engage our upper backs and crank our neck and do all kinds of crazy things to get the foot, right? And then start to slide that heel up to the sky. And the first thing we're going to do is check into the upper body. The upper body takes so much extra tension here often. So soften your shoulders back down to the ground. Push your heel up, right? Shoulders away from the ears. And then I went to the foot. Go ahead and lengthen the arms. And breathe. Now we'll go into the leg. As you push the heel up, notice what's happening in the back of that beautiful thigh of yours. And then what happens when you pull the toes down lightly, right? We're not trying to get our toes to touch our shin or anything. And then push the ball mounds of the toes up into the strap. Strap pulls down. And then breathe from this place. Just let this be the stretch. It's not super fancy, but it's incredibly effective at opening the hamstrings, the low back, the whole back line, really. Now put both straps in your right hand for a second, or whatever you need to do to get the block next to the left hip. Let me say that. So go ahead and put that block in position. Again, it can be higher. You've got 3 levels on the block. If you need to hold it initially while you let the leg come over, please do. But please, please, please catch the leg on the block today. Straight left arm, grabbing the strap. We're still using a little bit of arm strength, but not a lot. Left shoulder down. My right knee counters out to the right. And then I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to notice the support of the block underneath my left leg, right? Hopefully letting my brain know it is protected. I'm not going to go too far. Now, same actions. Push the inner left heel away. Push the ball mound of the big toe into the strap. The strap pulls back into the ball mound. And just bring your awareness into that left inner groin area. It's a super vague, but there are a whole bunch of different muscles. Most of us are probably feeling the innermost muscle of the hamstrings, closest to the inner groin, right? But you might be feeling something else in there. And go ahead and bring that back up. You're going to release the strap off of the leg. You can move the block or not. Arms down a little closer to the side. Right knee came up, by the way. Point the toes and flex the foot on that left foot. And then from there, you're going to go ahead and you're going to slowly, slowly lower that down. Bring your awareness into your pelvis, your low back, your ribs. Hopefully not one thing changes except for at your left hip joint and, of course, at your left ankle joint as we flex and point the toes. This time, let's extend both legs out. Arms can come out a little bit, palms up, and just pause, right? It's legal to linger, as T.S. Little says. And I'm sure he got it from some teacher somewhere along the line as well. And then from there, go ahead and put your feet on the ground with the knees bent. Move that block off to the side. We're going to go ahead and we're going to bring our knees in and grab the backs of the thighs and rock yourself up. If you need teeter-totter, that's totally acceptable as well. And then go ahead and put those blocks towards the front, whatever's going to be the front of your mat. I've just deemed this the front of my mat. And then from there, go ahead and come onto hands and knees. Just a couple of cat-cows. Shoulder blades down the back, chest forward on your inhale. And then when you exhale, pull that belly up towards the sky. And do that 2, maybe 3 times. Just kind of sussing out the back body, at least in these 2 motions. Well, I say the back body, but geez, when I move forward, I feel my belly start to open up, right? And then go ahead and move any direction with the body right now. So I call this kind of that animalistic, not that we are not animals, but we forget that sometimes. And any little movements that start to open any areas. Adding a little core in. Bring your right hand behind your head. Inhale, lift the elbow up. That's your obliques, right? Exhale, bring that elbow down towards the other arm and stretch around the right shoulder blade. Inhale, push your shins down. Get really firm, right, in the pelvis, the stability of the pelvis. Exhaling down and in. One more, inhaling up. This time we're going to extend the arm all the way out, maybe turn and look up. And then we're going to sweep that hand past the left wrist, reaching it over, right shoulder down, the right side of the head comes down. Left hand can stay where it is, or do that downward dog style arm. Keep pushing the shins down, especially the right one. My hips want to go to the left so bad. I'm going to keep my hips stable and let my spine do the twisting. Take another breath. Soften the neck, soften the shoulder, the jaw. Left hand under shoulder. If it's not, push the floor away. Recalibrate. Come back to your center, your neutral. Left hand lifts up. Don't drop the ribs. Inhale, left elbow lifts up. Exhale, left elbow swings down and in. So 2 different things, right? As I lift up, I'm working my obliques, my side waist. And as I come down and in, I'm getting a beautiful stretch in my upper left back. One more. This time extend your arm all the way out. Maybe turn and look towards the left, whatever that is in your neck. Now sweep the left hand past the right inner wrist and come on down. I'm turned away from you. I apologize, but hopefully I'm still getting audio. Go ahead and reach your right arm forward if you so desire. Notice that the left foot moves over to the right foot and the left shin totally gets light. So move that left shin into position and then push it down and ground. Keep the hips grounded. And now soften the upper back, the shoulder, the tongue, the jaw, the neck. Right hand under right shoulder, push the floor away. Grab those blocks and bring those blocks in. Even if you don't, quote, need the blocks, just bring them in for yourself, right? Go ahead and step your right foot forward and move those hips a little forward on an inhale, and then sweep the hips back on an exhale, right? And move the hips forward. I like to walk with my blocks personally. And sweep back. This time, if you want to start to flex that right foot, you might find a little more hamstring action. This time when you sweep forward, you're going to stay forward. But instead of hanging in the joint, I want you to pull your right foot back and your left knee forward. Find that stability in the pelvis, right? The pelvic floor, the corset. And then hands on the thigh. We're taking the slow version today. Push the leg away. And as I do, I push it away with the intention of pulling my left hip point, my whole pelvis, but really the left is our focus because that's where the sensation is, right? What are your shoulders doing? Are they up in your ears? Are they rounded forward? Maybe you sweep your arms up. Exhale there. Right hand's going to grab the left wrist and lean over to the right. Right hand can come down onto the thigh for more stability. Come back up, bring the hands down, and float the right shin back. Float the left shin forward and inhale, moving those hips forward. You can hang a little bit here, right? Exhale back. I mean, don't be crazy with it, but if it's comfortable to you to move a little further and do that, we'll add the stability in a second. Move forward on the inhale and back on the exhale. One more. Inhale, go ahead and come on forward on the inhale. Pause there. Shoulder blades down the back. Before we lift, stabilize. Left heel back, right shin forward, right? Find that stability. Hands on thigh. And as I push into my thigh, I'm going to do it with the intention of pulling my right hip point up, 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 and pausing. Maybe my arms inhale up. Take a full exhale there. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Left hand grabs right wrist and lean over to the left. Left hand could come to the thigh for stabilization. Inhale back up, bring the hands down, and left leg moves back. Right leg moves forward, or we're going to move it into a twist. I like my block on low, left hand on block or ground, right hand on thigh. Again, before you move into the twist, pull your right heel back and your left shin forward, right? Get that length, or the stability in the pelvis, the length of the spine, and then go ahead and move on in. You can keep that right hand pushing into the thigh and use it as leverage to twist, or you can reach your right arm up, whatever you prefer. I'm going to keep pushing into my thigh today is what I've discovered. Take a breath. And bring the body down, switching the legs out. Right shin back, left foot forward. Right hand on block or ground. Right? Before you go into the twist today, we're pulling the left heel back, the right shin forward, inhaling long, and then exhaling in. Again, I'm going to keep my left hand pushing into my thigh in order to use that as leverage to move into my twist. If you would prefer to reach the left arm up, please feel free. Take a breath and release the body down. Let's go into a child's pose and pause there for just a couple of breaths, letting the body unwind. You know, if child's pose is not comfortable, of course, you can go into cat-cow or lay on your back or whatever pose would suit you here. Let's stretch our arms out, plant the palms down. Now walk your hands over to the right and reach that left arm forward and away. And coming back to center, let's walk over to the left and reach that right arm forward and away. And come back to center, come up to hands and knees. Have your hands under your shoulders, right? But let me say that differently. Sorry. We're going to move our hands a little forward, about 2 or 3 inches. And then we're going to move our shoulders forward, so our shoulders are over our wrist, and we're in what's called half plank, right? Now, if you need to come down a different way, you can. We're going to do our butt staying high and come down with our chest and our chin. So I want you to go ahead and move your thighs into an imaginary block. Tone your abdomen up, And then start to bend the elbows straight back. Keep your butt where it is, but go ahead and start to drop down your chest, and then your chin, and then your hips, and snake it out, I call it, right? Now press into the tops of the feet. Thighs get buoyant. Tone the abdomen up and inhale up into low cobra. And exhale down. And again, keep pushing the feet down, thighs lift, that belly toning, that doesn't change. Inhale up. Now stay right here. See if you can pull your hands back. They don't move there on the sticky mat, and find just a little more opening in the upper back. Now keep that, but reach your arms back by your side. So I straighten my arms. My hands are a little bit on the outside of my thighs, right? And I get long. We're moving towards locust pose, Shavasana. Maybe the toes lift, and then get longer still. And come down, turning your head either way, bringing your head down to one cheek or the other. Soften the arms by the side, palms up. Inhale. Exhale. So you have the option to do that again, just turning the palms towards each other. Forehead to the ground. You also have the option to interlace your hands behind your back, right? So press the feet down, thighs lift, tone the belly. That's the low back protection. Now go ahead and lift up just a little bit. Reach those knuckles back. That's going to help you, right? Roll the shoulders open. Maybe the toes lift. Pinky toes heavy, inner groin rotating up. That's a number of folks in my group, right? Who study with me regularly. And then from there, I want you to push your hands out, your wrists, as if you had a strap around your wrists. We've done this before. Push out into that imaginary strap and get lighter, get buoyant, fly. And exhale, coming down for your landing, turning to the other cheek, palms up. I'm going to leave my head center so you can hear my voice a little better. I don't want to turn from my mic too much. Hands next to low floating ribs. Go ahead and push the floor away. Actually, you know what? I was going to have us come down onto our back. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to come down onto our side. Sorry for the last minute switch there. You're going to come down onto either side. Doesn't matter which one. Not the one with the mic pack. Sorry, let me just move it around back. And go ahead and, if you want to block underneath your head or an arm or whatever that is, feel free to put a support system underneath there. Quads. Bring that top leg in, knee to the chest, grab your ankle or strap it with a strap and reach your knee down. The knee tends to go high and the foot tends to go low. So rotate your inner groin back, I could say. That usually takes care of a lot of that. But ensure your knee is about the height of your buttocks bones. You can look down and make sure that's happening. Now from there, I want you to go ahead and I want you to push your shin lightly into your hand. It's going to kind of pull your hand back, and it's similar to that Shalabhasana we were just doing, getting that opening in the front of the shoulder and the armpit, the chest. Take another breath. And go ahead and release that down. So we're going to go to the other side. I'm going to turn my body so that I'm not faced away from you, just in case that's helpful. So go ahead and you just roll over if you'd like. And then bring that top leg into the body. Grab onto the ankle or the top of the foot or strap it. Reach that knee down. And again, for many of us, we need to remember to roll our inner groin back, right? Let that participate in the stretch. And then from there, reach that knee down, frontal hip point up, and first just concentrate on quads, the front of the left, or the top thigh. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a half bow on our sides, basically. So from there, I want you to go ahead and I want you to push your shin down towards the bottom of your mat and let it kind of gently pull that top shoulder a little down, a little back, so you get that opening through the front of the shoulder and the chest. Take a breath. And release that down. And then we're going to roll onto our backs. Let's take just a few moments here before we end the practice together, right? You can have your feet on the ground, feet wide, knees lean in, or you can have the legs extended all the way out. Either one works. Those arm Shavasana, take a second and get those shoulder blades situated, right? Whatever you need, so you feel like your body is wide open. And let's just take about 2 minutes here to hang out in Shavasana, and then we'll say Namaste. Tune into your eyebrows, the forehead, the muscles around the eyes, the jaw and the tongue, the throat and the neck, shoulders through the arms, hands and fingers, chest and upper back through that middle rib cage area, on down through the belly and the low back, the hips, legs, knees, lower legs, ankles, feet and toes. Bring your awareness back into your breath. And of course, you're at home. If you have time to stay here in this position for a little while longer, I would suggest that, right? Give yourself that gift. But if you're on a time limit, go ahead and add any little movements in that feel nice to you today. Keep your eyes closed. Don't look at me or what anyone's doing. Just tune into your body and find out what little motions would feel nice. Roll to one side and push the floor away. Come on up into your upright posture. Bring those hands together in front of the chest. Inhale. And namaste, friends. It's good to be back. Thank you for your patience while I was out of town. I'll try and do a shorter meditation for you, but at least we've got a short yoga practice, and I'll be putting up the live classes as per usual. And that's, of course, you need to be a Patreon subscriber, monthly subscriber through patreon.com, CJoy Yoga. And if you subscribe and support, you get access to all of the classes I do and put up there. So be well, friends, and have such a great day.